Hey guys, welcome back at Ting and Ting and Ting. And someone suggested I watch this before Christmas, okay? And oh boy, it's stand-up comedy, but it's written in the Romanian language, so I don't know what it says. I should have translated this before I got on here, but you know what? It is done in English. And I do believe it's somebody of African descent who lives in Romania. He's going to be telling some jokes today. You don't want to beat it up. Check it. I'm excited. I like a good comedy show. So let's go ahead and YouTube and simmer and see what this is all about.
You guys are already laughing. Huh? Oh, negro. Oh, secret. Limba română. You guys thought African language is difficult, right? You guys have seen those videos on YouTube, TikTok, those where Africans are there talking. It's easy compared to limba română. Trust me. Trust me. Because limba română, right? I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to speak as much as I can. But you guys have got singular, plural, feminine, masculine, formal, informal, and two ways to conjugate the future, right? And I have to be thinking about all these things when I'm talking limba română, and I also have to bag in jurături just to make sure that It's a difficult language. You guys do not have an easy language at all. Not even a little bit. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm trying to learn. I really am. I speak Romanian as much as I can. You know, if you find me outside of the club, it's probably I'm speaking in limba română, you know. And, well, for me personally, I just find it perplexing how you guys are so good at languages. You guys, I mean, all the Romanian girls that I know, they speak Spaniolo, you know. From the telenovela. It's crazy that you guys just watch a telenovela, they're going, and you guys go, do you realize how crazy that is? Right? And I thought, how come everybody in Romania is so good at languages? Even the bătrânii. I thought, you know, everybody speaks English and understands English. But the bătrânii, they understand English, but they don't speak it. And I found out the hard way that the reason they don't speak English back to you is because they just have this gând in their mind where they go, n-am chef să mă chinui. That's the only reason they don't speak English. They understand it. I'll give you guys a bit of a story to understand how it is that I came to find this out. So I grew up in Belgium, right? So in Western Europe, you can use a certain logic to navigate from one place to another. The intersections in Belgium usually indicate to you which road is more important, which road is less important, and eventually, if you follow the more important road, you will get to the city center. So I was walking in Bucharest and my phone battery was dead. So I figured I'm going to use the logic I've used all my life. So I get to an intersection, right? And I see communist bloc, communist bloc, communist bloc, mega image, mega image, mega image, catena. And I'm like, okay, I don't know which road is more important here. I can't figure it out just by looking. I turn left and I'll keep going and I'll figure it out at the next intersection. I get to the next intersection. Communist bloc, communist bloc, communist bloc, mega image, mega image, mega image, catena. I just came from here. I walked around the whole of Bucharest for 2 hours, completely pierdut. Can you imagine that? You don't know the language, your battery is dead. Everywhere you go, it looks the same. So I decided I'm going to try something else. This logic of mine is not working. I need to go on a small street. So I go on a small street. And I see there's a bătrânică walking towards me, right? Just me and her. Just me and her. And I'm frustrated. Have you ever been frustrated where you're trying to fix a problem, but no matter how hard you try, it doesn't work? So only energy you have is just anger, right? So I go to her, hey, lady! and she looks at me and she goes, "Ah!" and she starts to run. But I realize she's not running because I'm negro, because I could hear her shouting, "Nu înțeleg engleză!" Now I'm frustrated. I shouldn't have done this. It's not okay what I did. But I'm frustrated. My battery is dead. I don't know the language. I'm lost. So I ran after her. And I got her. Lady, where's Giantdread? Because I had to hold her. I shouldn't have done that as well, but I had to hold her. I figured she's been through communism. If I don't hold her, she'll gone. I hold her. Where's Giantdread? And she goes, "Drept înainte, la stația de metro, iei metro, până la Unirii și ajungi." And I was perplexed, utterly shocked, because she understood English. Utterly crazy. Do you guys realize how your language has so much to it? It's a very rich language, Romanian. I studied actually a bit of the history of the language, the Ghetto Dutch. You guys have a very, very rich history. The language has a very rich history, a lot of influences, but it's a very old language. And it's hard to figure out how old the language is, because I'll give you guys an example, right? Usually you can navigate a language, not Romanian. You can't navigate Romanian as a language. If you go to Zambia, my country of birth, and somebody says to you, "Oh, Mulishani, they're saying, "Oh, bună ziua, oh, ce faci?" You can feel it, right? But if they go, "Poloiacue," m-a înjurat, simt asta, m-a înjurat. You can feel it. But it's very difficult to figure out what are the înjurături in Romanian. Because you guys use înjurături all the time. You guys use înjurături when you're sad. You guys use înjurături when you're happy. Can you imagine, when you guys have delicious food in front of you, use înjurături, mâncați și e bun. You guys use înjurături when you see your best friend, bulângiule! You guys use înjurături all the time, so it's difficult as a străin. How do I navigate? What's an înjurătur? What's not? What's a good word? What's a bad word? I can't figure it out. It's very difficult. And so...
Excuse me there, I have some allergies going on. I came home from work and I'm sneezing and carrying on, so excuse me if I'm sniffling and coughing a little bit through this. I'm not sick or anything. It's just a little bit of allergies. No, I could attest to this, to what he's saying there. And what's ironic about it is, they speak English in America, right? I speak English. I moved here and I went to the, how do they call it? The College of the Kentucky Mountains, or the university that I went to. That's what they call it, the College of the Kentucky Mountains. But I couldn't understand a word they were saying, and they were speaking English, and vice versa. So I remember after a year of being up here, my mom spoke to the coach of the basketball team I was on there, and he's asking her, what language am I speaking? Now, my mom had been up here like 3 years before I came up here, so she had figured out how to speak slowly so that Americans could understand her. Of course, she lived in New York, so she was around Caribbean people. I didn't go around Caribbean people. It was straight up Kentucky people. I mean, and they have their own twang and they have their own slangs and sayings and stuff like that. I did use the fact that they didn't understand me to my advantage though, because I got teased a lot when I first came here, you know what I mean? Oh, speak English, just silly things, These kids at the college were going off and stuff. And I remember one time some girls just totally razzed me one day, you know what I mean? It just said all kind of stuff, all kind of derogatory stuff about where I'm from, And I did this, and I shouldn't have. I saw them go into the ladies' restroom. I bolted in and said, "No speaking English, no speaking English." I didn't see anything. I didn't go in. I just pushed the door and yell, I didn't look in, I didn't do anything. I just pushed the door. No speaking English. When I pushed the door, somebody complained. I said, "What are you doing?" I was like, "No speaking English, no speaking English, no reading English." they never mess with me again. They never mess with me again. Here's something ironic. One of the reasons me and my ex-wife became so close so fast, because she was the only one that totally understood me. American, that is. I had a friend from Zambia. I think that's where he said he's from. Moisa Mapoma. He could understand me. And ironically enough, his dad was born in Zambia, but his mom was born on the island next to mine in Trinidad. So he knew some of the slangs and stuff from where I'm from. So I communicated with him more, you know. Hey Mo, if you're looking, man, if you're watching this video, big ups, my brother. Let's get back to this here.
I try to use the same logic that I always use. Context. Context. So I'm prospect in Romania, right? I'm in Centru Vechi, and after Centru Vechi, I'm going to my house. I lived in Piața Iancului at the time, to my apartment. So I get into the taxi. The taxi driver is very happy to see me. Hello, my friend. Hello, my friend. How are you, my friend? You good, my friend? I'm like, I don't know why taxi drivers do this to show that I'm their friend. My friend, you good? I go, yes, I'm good. Thank you very much. My friend, where I take you? I said, please take me to Piața Iancului. No problem, my friend. Pula mare. Sure, man, no problem, man. Let's go to Piața Iancului. That's the first taxi driver. Another time, same. I'm coming from Centru Vechi. I had a good time with my friends. I'm a little bit drunk. Time to go home. I get into another taxi. Hello, sir. Hello, my friend. Again, my friend. How are you, my friend? Where I take you, my friend? Where we go? Please, man, just take me to Piața Iancului, man. No problem, my friend. My pula mare friend. Sure, man, no problem. I have all I need. Just 2 interactions, all I need. So I go to work the next day, and a friend, he's asking me, Mukinka, by the way, I never figured out where. Did you find an apartment in Bucharest? Where do you live exactly? Where do you live? I said, listen, I live at Piața Iancului. But more specifically, do you know the Pula Mare intersection? That's where I live. I figured it out. The step. I'm smart. It was difficult. Before coming to Romania, I had to ask myself, I am black, you know. I have to figure out, is it okay? Because I don't know if you guys realize, if you're black, not all countries are okay. Certain countries, they're very racist. Some countries are not. So you have to figure out, okay, I want to feel safe. So is Romania okay for me? My friends told me, don't worry, Romania, very long crime. They don't care if you're black, good people. It was a Romanian telling me this. So I believed him, yeah. I came and I realized it's completely true. And in my research, I found out some interesting things about this country. I'm now here, you know, de 10 ani, you know, you guys, you can't get rid of me anymore at this point. M-am căsătorit cu o româncă și avem 2 copii. You're not getting rid of me at this point. Da, dar votez aur. I don't care. You're not. I'm here for good. So I was studying some things, right? Trying to understand how the history of Romania is. And I figured out something very interesting. I'll give you guys a story so you understand better what I mean. So, 400-500 de ani în trecut, black people were just in Africa, right? Doing our thing. I know you guys, when I say doing our thing, you're imagining something else. For me, it was just black person talking to another black person. I know you guys are thinking, it's not what was happening. It was just very, it's not even that dramatic. It's boring. We were just
That's kind of funny and think that he said that, right? No, I'm not from Africa. I'm from the Caribbean. And I remember one time I was sitting in the student center where there's pool tables and there's people, you know, that would come there and chill out and stuff in between classes. But I went up there and classes were pretty much done for the day. And I was sitting in there by myself. And in staggers this person from a local person. We call them rednecks here. You know what I mean? I don't know what they call them over there, but they call them rednecks here. He stumbles in, he see me sitting there, and he's like, so he stumbles over, and I could tell he was looking for trouble, right? I could tell he was looking for trouble. He sat next to me. What's your name, boy? He said, you know, and here, when anytime you call a grown person of color boy, there's an issue. I didn't have a problem, you know, I don't care. So I started talking to him. And you want to know how? You want to know how I pacified this dude? When he found out, when he realized how I spoke differently than him, he asked me where I was from. So I lied. I said, I'm from Africa. He said, oh, Africa? It's like, yeah, you know what I mean? And I said, and I specifically told him the Sudan, because I told him I was Manud Ball's cousin. Somebody you would know, because they're all into basketball in Kentucky. Kentucky's a big basketball state. And he got really interested. And here's what first thing he asked me, because also in this region, hunting is really big. He said, do you guys hunt there? So I started to make up this big story, and I told him, yeah, we hunt. I spared lions, and I've wrestled elephants, and it was just, and he took it all for truth. You know what I mean? We were having a really good conversation. I was lying. I was telling him all these fabulous stories that just pure lies. You know what I mean? But it kept him. It kept him at bay and like interested, and he's talking, and I could tell he's drunk. He had a snoot full, is what they say here. He had some moonshine, you know what I mean? And he's all drunk, eyes bloodshot and stuff like that. And we ended up sitting there talking for a good half an hour. Of course, me giving him all these fables, you know, of where I'm from, you know, and all the big old snakes that could swallow you whole, and, you know, shooting wild boar, you know, and running with giraffes, and all kind of crazy stuff I was telling this dude just to keep him, you know, chilled and stuff. I was only in America like a month or so when that happened, but I was quite aware, you know what I mean, of how to talk my way out of trouble. Cutting a long story short, there was another, as I was sitting there, another basketball player came up. He was African American. And I kid you not, within 3 seconds, there was a fight going on. This dude came to looking for a fight with somebody, you know what I mean? But here's the kicker. I realized that I sort of dodged the bullet, because the minute the fight started, 3 more of his buddies came up from behind a partition, and next thing I know, bam, 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 they throw it down, and I'm like, whoa, whoa. And one of the basketball players says, are you going to help us? I said, no, I look like an American fight to me. I ain't getting in the middle of that. No, not me, boy. I just got here. I just got off where I was in a whole war and a couple of revolutions. I ain't fighting, yeah. No, nope. And it's survival that to come here and get beaten up or killed by some drunk redneck, you know, who's just looking to squabble, you know what I mean? But that was one of the funny stories that happened to me when I first come here, you know what I mean? I'm going to tell some more funny stories about that in my membership part of my YouTube channel here. So you want to do that? Go ahead and join. You understand what I'm going to say? Here are some of them stories. Let's get back to this here and finish it up.
That was what's going on. Black people having a good time, and then suddenly we see ships coming from far, right? And we're like, oh, look, cruise ships. We're going on vacanza. It was not cruise ships. It was not vacanza. Ne-am luat țeapă. Black people got taken to the Americas as slaves. Right? Free labor. Now, slavery is a thing that has existed for a very long time, and it was rândul nostru, right? So black people were taken as slaves to the Americas. And then, you know, when you take a human being and you have to make them do stuff you don't want to do, you have to give them a word to make them less human. So they gave them the word nigger. Now, I know this is a revelation for some of you. Some of you were there. Român, România, Italian, Italia, Nigeria, Niger. So this word nigger was basically used to black people to say you're less than human in a way, right? So they had to use this word. And then there was something called the Civil Rights Movement in America. civil rights movement were black people fighting for their rights. And once they won that fight, black people took the word nigger, and I'm sure you guys don't know this, but the word nigger just comes from Latin, niger. It just means black. Atât. Black. Niger, Latin. Like negro, right? Black. But it was used to insult them. So black people took the word nigger and they said, because this word was used to put us down, if you're a white skin color, you're not allowed to say it anymore. But we can say it to each other because we are changing the meaning of it. So if you're black, you could say nigger if you want, as much as you want. But if you're white, you're no longer allowed to say it, right? Because of the suffering that you went through. So you feel like if you're white, you can't say it. Then I was reading the history of Romania. Started to read. I said, this is interesting. So there was a time the Austro-Hungarian Empire came and conquered big parts of Romania. And then there was also the Ottoman Empire that also came and conquered Romania. And then there was the Russians. They were like a bug shield. All I'm saying is, I think you guys can use the word nigger. Now I'm sure there's somebody here who's gonna go home, Mama! Mama! Suntem niggas, mama! Suntem niggas! Bă, tâmpitule, cine ți-a zis asta? Bă, un negru, mama, suntem niggas, mama! Mama, nigga! Suntem niggas, mama!
Oh my
I don't
God.
know, maybe I take it back. You guys are not yet ready. The responsibility is too big. It's too big. I'm sure someone here is going to tell me, dar Mukinka, avem și noi niggas.
I don't know what he said there.
I know what you're thinking, but I call them nigga țigan. When I see my țigan friends, I always say to them, what's up, my nigga țigan? And they respond, so care smo Tupac. Și cu asta vă las, oameni buni. Vă mulțumesc.
This was more of a storytelling thing than I enjoyed this. Thank you for suggesting this thing, you know what I mean? And yes, I personally don't like it when black people call me that or white people call me that. I personally don't. I set them straight here. I don't care what color you are. I set you straight real quick, you know what I mean? I don't want to take ownership of that word. I just don't. You know what I mean? The point is to move on, you know what I mean? That word just reminds you of the past here in this part of the world of what happened. Because I'd walk the street at night here and people would shout, you know, die, and then they use that word. That happens to me a lot. That's where I stay in at night a lot here too. And in the last like 3 or 4 years, it's actually got more prevalent that people are shouting that at me when I'm walking the street. But anyway, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this thing, you know. I'll leave links for the video in the description, and I'll also leave links to other videos that I've reacted to on Romania. So you all go check that out and enjoy. Comment. Tell me more stuff. Suggest more things, you know what I'm saying, and things that I could watch and react to. I hope you guys are having a great day, man. Thank you so much for all the support and watching all the videos with me and commenting and telling me about your history. Thank you very much. You all take care of each other, all right? Cool runnings.